Another verb type 2. How do I know? Well, because I could say I looked, or they looked, or he or she looked, one thing looked, many things looked. This is not exclusively singular or plural. This could be singular or plural. One thing looks, so this could only be singular. One thing is looking, but you could say many things are looking. You could say that person is looking, or you could say many people are looking, right? So this could be singular or plural. So notice, even though there are some which are exclusively singular, we don't have a 3-in-1 situation, right? Because of A and D and their flexibility. Okay, here's how I know it's type 2. These three could function as the main verbs in a sentence. I know there's an ing here, but it's the secondary verb to is. I looked at the painting. She looks at the painting. He is looking at the painting. All three of these are main verbs. They're conjugated, while the one that is an ing all by itself is unconjugated. You couldn't have that be, you couldn't just simply put a subject and a verb on either, a subject and an object on either side of looking, right? I can put any subject and object in answer choices A, B, and C as long as the singular plural thing isn't violated. But I can't do that with looking. So one more time. The building looked interesting. The building looks interesting. The building is looking interesting. The building looking interesting. Notice how this one would not create a full sentence. Hey, guess what? The building looking interesting. That's not a sentence. So I don't care if it's conjugated or not. What I care about is whether I have 3-in-1, these three and this one. It could be the other way around. I could have 3 unconjugated and the one that is conjugated is right. In this case, I have 3 that are ready for main verb status and 1 that is not. Why on the merits is this the right answer? Here's a comma. Here's a comma. The main sentence is the author, Madeleine L'Engle, begins her novel with a description. There's the main verb. In between these commas is a dependent clause, sometimes called in this particular context an appositive, and that should not have a main verb in it. If you said the author looks to create a suspenseful tone, that would be a sentence in and of itself. Okay, so the 3-in-1 game simplifies what you need to think about. Okay, this is a type 3. How do I know that it's type 3? Type 3 is the one that people think all the verbs are type 3, but they're, as we've seen, most of them are not. Type 3 is when you actually care about the verb tense, past, present, or future. Okay, they oftentimes have dates in them, like these ones have the years of the 1941 to 45 stretch and the 47 to 48 stretch. How do I know? Well, if you look at these, they're all conjugated, right? So he already served in the military. He was already serving in the military. He already serves in the military. He had already served in the military. So I just put a he and an object, the military, at the beginning and end of the sentence, subject and object. And not only did they all work, but they were all actually perfectly set up for he, for the singular tense, okay? Well, by the way, some of these, particularly D, could be plural as well. They had already served. And so same thing with A. They already served. So a couple of these could go singular or plural as well. Point is, it's not 3-in-1. They're all conjugated, and there's no 3-in-1 singular or plural thing like the type 1s do. So I actually have to think about verb tense. I'll read the sentence. A second-generation Japanese American, Wataru Misaka, blank in World War II, and won 2 amateur national basketball championships at the University of Utah when he joined the New York Knicks for the 1947-48 season, becoming the first non-white basketball player in the U.S.'s top professional league. Okay, so ing here. This is, not the main sentence. The main sentence is the dude won when he joined. Okay, the timing is key here. Obviously, 41 to 45 is before 47 to 48, right? So we have the past tense joined. And this is the past, the simple past tense. If we want to say something happened before that moment in the past, that's when I try to remember that D is for distant. Had served. After this moment in the past, but still before the present, let's put the present like here, like joins or serves. If you were still going to be in the past, but like after, still past, but after the simple past, so if you said he joined the New York Knicks, and if it's sort of ongoing from the past up until the moment, and has since participated in other aspects of business. So you would say something like he has, after he joined the Knicks, maybe he has continued, or he has served as an announcer or something. Okay, so had is the distant past, has is the more recent past, sort of ongoing and up to the present. The question here, it's rare, type 3 is rare, but we have 1941 to 45. So he had already served and won. The had from this one, had served in World War II, gets borrowed for won as well. He had already served, and basically he had already won, right? But having set this up with the word had, both served and won become had served and had won. Okay, so that's the rare type 3. You can look out for these because they usually have to mention timing in order to be explicit. All right, we're almost at the end of this document, so you'll have seen a bunch of stuff here. Okay, let's see. Always start by seeing if it's type 1. One thing has enhanced, singular. Many things are enhancing, plural. Many things have enhanced. You wouldn't say one thing have enhanced. Many things enhance, plural. It's probably A. Once again, double commas. So is it the author? No, it's the author's book. The book has enhanced, right? I know the book's title is Fields. Basically, it's a sheaf, which I don't really even know what that is. But a sheaf is singular. It wouldn't matter if this is plural. It's just a book. The author's book has enhanced, okay? So that game of figuring out that all of the stuff in between just sort of complicates your analysis, maybe distracts people, and then actually going back and finding it, that's a harder game than just recognizing the 3 of these and the 1 of these, right? The power of recognizing the type of questions you're working on. Okay, so as soon as you start seeing the 2 and the INGs, you kind of know that you've got a type 2. These 3 are non-conjugated. This is conjugated, right? So prepositional phrase, I'll do a full analysis here. In 1994, that's not the sentence. Another preposition, almost 200 years after, comma. None of this starts the sentence. I mean, technically it does, but it doesn't start the independent clause. The independent clause, the main sentence, the main idea is the International Astronomical Union blank the contributions of the barrier-breaking astronomer and author. And the rest of this stuff doesn't really help us. Comma, ing, because this is not the main sentence. That's how INGs typically function, as so-called helping verbs is the way they describe them to middle schoolers, but you're not a middle schooler. So the only one that creates a main sentence is A, or a full sentence. The union would finally acknowledge the contributions of the astronomer. Right? Think about this idea of a full sentence. I think I've brought up to you in other videos if you've seen it. But this idea of, hey, guess what? This is my little hack for seeing if something's a full sentence. If it answers the question, hey, guess what? You've got a full sentence. Hey, guess what? The union would finally acknowledge the contributions of the astronomer. right? That's a full sentence. Versus, hey, guess what? Naming a crater on Venus after her. Not a sentence, right? Okay. Onward. Once you see the type, I'm moving fast to emphasize that point. Once you see the type, you're good. Always start with type 1. Many things are. One thing is. Many things were. Many things have been. It's going to be B. This one I've seen almost every student get wrong. The shape is unique. There's the of ears, but you don't want that, right? You're not saying the ears are unique, which would make sense, but the shape is unique. If you have to analyze it, you'll be tempted to pick one of the plural answers. If you at least start with your 3-in-1 analysis, you'll be highly likely to pick the right answer is. It's an extremely hard one that almost everyone gets wrong. And our last one, an ing, a to. It's going to be the one that stands out from the pack. A model created by biologist Louis Valente predicts that the rate of speciation. Wow, there is so much here. If you know the game, it's easy. If you don't know the game, you have to do so much work. Let me show you the work. Okay. A model predicts that the rate, doesn't matter what kind of rate, cross off the parenthetical phrase. You could say the rate, here's a preposition of, here's another preposition on an island located from the nearest mainland. Literally none of that matters. It's really hard to see that. That's a skill we can work on. But a model predicts that the rate will be. Once again with that word that, we saw it on a different example. The rate will be triple the rate of speciation on a different island. After the word that, we create a subordinate clause, which typically could take the form of a main sentence if it were not subordinated or placed below the sentence. The basic sentence is a model predicts something. A model predicts that something will happen. Something will happen is a sentence, right? So we need a main verb. The rate will be triple the rate of speciation on an island. I moved fast here. And look, we could do a different video where we really, really dig into the analysis of verbs, like why these questions work. I'm trying to show you in this video series the way the test works, not the way grammar works, okay? So you saw that on the vast majority of these verb questions, I was able to make a choice based on the range of answer choices available. Type 1, 3 singular and 1 plural, or 3 plural and 1 singular. Type 2, 3 conjugated and 1 unconjugated, or vice versa, right? Type 3, we only saw happen once on this document. On all but 2 questions, there was a very sneaky type 2 at the beginning. But on all the other ones, we saw that the 3-in-1 analysis was sufficient to answer the question. And even if you're unsatisfied with, you could say, well, I'm trying to get a perfect score, so those exceptions really matter. Yes, but you should start with that 3-in-1 game and change your mind if entirely necessary and at great risk. Right? So now I've shown you how verb questions work on the SAT. I think it would be good to do a deep analysis of like the way these verb questions work to really understand the grammar. You'll probably feel better about it. But look, if you're taking the test next week, get good at 3-in-1. Get good at that. You're going to get the questions right. If it's not 3-in-1, then you're probably working on a type 3, right? Which is the actual verb tense thing. I hope that's helpful. I hope you feel like you now understand how the test makers are writing questions. And I'll look forward to helping you more if you so choose. Thank you very much.